calls me back to go through more story content. And a few unlocks. Greetings, my friend. If you have a child to share, this minstrel is all ears. A battle at the edge of existence, you say, against a fearsome being known as the Endsinger. It goes without saying that I should like to hear about this. Pray, recount to me the tale of your mission from beginning to end. Good gods! I had known about the chaos of the final days, but never could I have imagined the events which brought them about. I do wonder, though, where might this Ultima Thule be located? Lest you misunderstand, I speak not of its physical location. If we wish to know that, I dare say we could have coordinates from the Lubbereats. Nay, my friend, what I speak of is its essence. According to your description, 'tis a space where emotions dictate reality. It seems to me that, in such a place, it would be nigh impossible to draw a line between what is real and what is felt. In nature, there is a phenomenon wherein the structure of a massive object may resemble that of something diminutive. Might it not be possible, then, that the structure of the sea and stars resembles that of the heart and mind, of the complex mechanisms that govern our feelings? On the assumption that is so, I am led to wonder, what was the true nature of the Endsinger? What was it exactly that you defied at the edge of existence? These are just the wild ramblings of a minstrel. Pray do not lose sleep over it. Still, I must say, for the sake of an entity that hoards despair, has quite roused my imagination. For instance, had the Endsinger succeeded in gathering but a few more stars worth of despair, nay, perhaps even that of a few more souls, might the outcome have been different? Yes, I believe I shall explore such an eventuality in song. The light of hope kindled by your comrades is brilliant. Alas, so dark is the despair you face, not even light can pierce it. An inexorable verse of oblivion, performed at the farthest reaches of existence. I shall name it the Endsinger's aria. Greetings, my friend. If you've a tale to share, this minstrel is all ears. Nothing for now. Not to put undue pressure upon you, but the folk here are quite taken by the songs inspired by your tales. They await the next with bated breath, and I hope to be able to deliver ere long, with inspiration from your good self. The fresh-faced student's face lights up at the sight of you. Ah, Elita, welcome back. Are you perchance here to see for Cryo? I'm given to understand she has a task for which she desires your assistance. Then I shall fetch her at once. Pray, wait a moment. Elita, my thanks for coming. If you're now available, I'd like you and Rahat to assist me in the task I had mentioned. For you to call on Elita, I assume the task in question is somewhat more exciting than sorting through paperwork, which, I am pleased to add, I have finished. So, if Elita is ready, then so am I. Our venture to the bounty has only served to whet my appetite for more field work. Not to oversell things, but I suspect you won't be disappointed. Ere I divulge the details, however, permit me to provide some background. As you know, our organization, the Students of Valdesian, was founded by my grandfather Galuf. Our stated mission was to uncover the mysteries of Heidelin and interpret her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. We've since learned the whole truth. It might be said that we've fulfilled our mission, but our work is far from over. In the course of our endeavours, we've also sought to devise countermeasures against threats that come to light. Our involvement with the Warring Triad is an example of such. It is my belief that, in continuing to seek out the unknown and dealing with threats, we best carry on the student's mission. We best honour grandfather and his comrades, who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect the world. Forgive me, I didn't mean to darken the mood in saying all this. I simply wanted to clarify our organization's purpose for a new age. In line with said purpose, I've been reviewing new requests, and one in particular jumped out at me. It comes from none other than Rambrois of the Sons of St. Coinch. Truly, has something happened in Mordona then? So it would seem, and he wishes to entrust the matter to us. While his missive is sparse on the details, he writes that it is beyond the son's expertise. Uncharted territory are the exact words he used. I'd like you to meet with Rambrois and conduct a preliminary survey. What say you? Wonderful. When you're ready, pray make your way to Revenant's Hall. I shall let Rambrois know to receive you there. I must remain here to oversee your operations, but should it transpire that more hands are needed, don't hesitate to send word. Well, there's no time like the present. If you could go on ahead to Revenant's Hall, I shall make ready, then be on my way. Bye-bye! Thought she would have went back in here. There you are, Elita. It would seem we're early. My apologies for the wait. Rambrois, what a pleasure to see you again. How have you been? The pleasure's all mine, my friend. I've been well, and it gladdens me to see that you are too. Now, I know you have many demands upon your time, so I shall explain the particulars of our request at once. Recently, an explorer came to us who claimed to have discovered the Phantom Realm. The Phantom Realm? So this is what you meant by uncharted territory. You're not familiar? Perhaps unsurprising, given it's a lesser-known legend. This legend holds that across the Eorzea there exists a realm that appears as a mirage. Though visible from a distance, it fades away as one draws near. While it is featured in myths since ancient times, the realm's existence could not be proven, and thus it is seldom mentioned in literature. In spite of this, fueled by rumours of the occasional sighting, the myth has persisted and continues to capture the hearts and minds of explorers. That you yourself should reach out to us. It's real then? When first the explorer in question approached us, we doubted him. But we couldn't doubt the evidence of our senses. Nay, the realm is real, as you will soon see for yourselves. Good gods! A part of me still struggles to believe it, but we have no reason to doubt you. Suffice it to say, we're eager to see the realm too. Whatever truth awaits, I pray you succeed in finding it. Seek out the explorer. One Derek. He has seen more of the realm than us, and should be willing to serve as your guide. I asked him to accompany me here, but he preferred to continue exploring on his own. He'll be somewhat near the banks of Silvertree Lake, I expect. Understood. Our thanks, Rambroise. Come, let us split up and look for our explorer. Could be them. Gonna have a quick drink of coffee. The explorer doesn't appear to be in the area. The explorer doesn't appear to be in the area. You see a small Upo. It couldn't possibly be explorer, or could it? Oh, look at it! Just in case you were entertaining the thought, Elita, that Opo isn't our explorer. I have the man in question right here with me. I am Derek, the one who discovered the Phantom Realm. My apologies for making you search for me. Curious about this creature, are you? I found him injured during one of my journeys and tended to him. Since then he has taken to following me around. He's inquisitive, but otherwise harmless, so pray pay him no mind. You are the hero who delivered our star from doom, are you not? What good fortune that one as capable as you should lend her aid. To be clear, our organization has yet to accept the commission. Before we can make a decision, we would conduct a preliminary survey. Will you guide us to the Phantom Realm? Of course. I will show you to the entrance at once. The gate to a realm long dreamed of by explorers. What are you... Impressive, isn't it? When the gate manifested, so due to this magic, allowing one to thus walk on water. This is just like Orianji's spell. Someone conceived the means to do this at will? An intriguing individual. It's perfectly safe, I assure you. Come. By the 12th, you truly can walk here. What magic is this? By what means is it perpetuated? Forgive me. Let's continue on. This is the Phantom Realm. Ooh, is this a new area entirely? To think that the entrance would lie over Silvertear Lake. So this is what Midgar Summer was guarding. There's nothing out of the ordinary with the environment. The sights, the sounds, the smells, all appear as they should be in nature. That is to say, this place is no illusion. I bid you welcome to the navel of the Phantom Realm, the Umphalas. Well, is it what you were expecting? By the 12. The Umphalas, you say this place is called? A name of my own conception, I confess. I felt we needed something to call it by. Lest you wonder, the word means navel in ancient tongue, an allusion to Mordona's location in the heart of Arvenald. As you can see, there are man-made structures, and the place appears well kept, yet there isn't a single soul in evidence. Tis my hope that you will help me shed light upon this realm, to learn who created it and to what end. I should also like to know why it has revealed itself now. Was it simply chance that kept it hidden, or something more? I'm guessing it was Midgar somewhere. And that the absence of Vinat caused it to be revealed, maybe? In any case, let us begin by taking a look around. A stone monument has been erected here, by whose hand you cannot say, but the motifs wrought into its base appear familiar. Pray do not mind me. Take a look around at your leisure. Oh, wow. In the distance, you see what appears to be the Crystal Tower, though the clouds makes it difficult to be sure. It would seem that you are in the sky above Silver Tear Lake. No such isle could be seen from the outside, however. This is so pretty. This is my place. I want to stay here. Blue flowers, orange flowers. A little golem. What the? Okay. Green flowers. Oh, birdie! Blue flowers, red flowers, purple flowers. The Upo seems quite at home, wouldn't you say? How many times has Derek come here, I wonder? A number of structures such as this can be seen in the area. What purpose could they possibly serve? The architecture is unlike anything seen in Eorzea. Truly exquisite stuff. The Upo's... Right here. Looks like we go talk to Derek again. Finished looking around, have you? What are your impressions? We have had only a cursory glance, but this is truly a mysterious place. The gleaming spire rising beyond the clouds, that is most certainly the Crystal Tower. And judging by its aspect, we are a considerable distance above Silvertear Lake, which should suggest the gate we entered is a teleporter. However, if this isle lies where it appears to lie, then it couldn't have escaped the Battle of Silvertear Skies unscathed. Which is to say we are in Mordona, and yet we are not. It's as if we are displaced from our world, if only slightly. Displaced is an apt way to put it. Was there aught else you noticed? Aye, the motives upon yonder structure. They are unmistakably the marks of the 12. Well, that's going to be our... Is that going to be what we're fighting in the Alliance raids? By which I possess that this was created to be a place of worship. But by whom? I cannot think of any who could have possibly built such a grand premises. Never mind magically conceal it, at least not in the wake of the Battle of Silver-Tier Skies. Aye, this is a mysterious place indeed. Magically concealed? In like manner, perhaps, the ruins of Amphitheatre from Twelswood. The city, I understand, reappeared when the seventh umbral calamity weakened the elementals. Grahatia is pondering how best to proceed. Well, it seems there is but one solution for our ignorance. A thorough investigation. For this, we will require more manpower and supplies, among other things. With your permission, we will confer with our representative Cryo and make the necessary arrangements for a formal investigation. If that is what must be done to commence your work in earnest, then by all means. Without further ado, let us return to Charlayan.
Hold, mortals! You profane this sacred realm with your very presence, and must answer for your irreverence. Oh! I am Burgerot, the Builder.
Burgerot? Then the 12 are real?
Let there be no doubt, we are not simulacra born of mortal faith. Nay, we 12 are divinities true. And in Heidelin's absence, we are the star's rightful rulers. Its will.
Closely have we watched mankind, and we have determined that you, champion of Heidelin, pose a threat to our ascension.
You were foolish to wander into our realm. We could destroy you with ease here and now, but as divinities we must demonstrate grace and forbearance. There is but one path. We must weigh this mortal's worth.
Hear, hear. Let there be a trial.
While the mortal would invariably be destroyed, it would at least provide us with a diversion.
What? You suddenly appear and expect us to simply comply with your whims?
Protest if you wish, but mortal logic means naught to gods. You will abide by our laws. Lo, the gateway to our sanctum lies open. Show us the strength of mankind.
Show us the honor of mankind.
Show us the spirit of mankind. If man would remain the master of his own destiny, then assemble your comrades and come. Come and prove your worthiness.
Seven hells. During my previous forays, nothing like this has ever happened. I encountered not a single soul, and certainly not gods. It might be because of me. And by their own admission, they mean to take over the star. What are we to do? The situation has indeed taken an unexpected turn, but we must try to think clearly. The 12 have long been revered and worshipped in the Eorzea, and myths about them abound. But to my knowledge, they have never thus appeared so openly before people. For these beings to suddenly reveal themselves just when we're here, claim supremacy over the star, and challenge Elita to a trial. Too much about this feels odd, and it gives me pause. Fair enough. Yet as it stands, it seems we can't dismiss the threat either. Whatever they are, if they're issuing challenge, then challenge accepted. Dependable as ever, my friend. In any event, if these beings seek dominion over the star as they say, What happens here may have far-reaching implications. To that end, I believe we should take action. Suffice it to say you are with me. Then the students of Baldessium will officially attend to the situation. Aye. In the course of studying the star's mysteries, we have undertaken to deal with any threats that may arise. This is no different. There's an orange, a red, a blue, and a purple one. Hang on, let me get my encyclopedia Eosia out. Burger at the Builder. Alright, that's that one. Let's see, there was an orange one, a blue one, and a purple one. There's the purple one you see. Okay, so I'm assuming the other one was Azima the Warden. A noble lady holding a golden fan. Yeah, that seems like the one. So Azima. So that'd be that one. The other one would be Thaliak, the Scholar. A reserved scholar holding an ashen staff. So that would be that one. Right, So Bergerot, Azemia, Thaliac, and let's see. So it's purple, blue, red, so one of the orange ones. And no, that one's female, that one's male. So it must be Alphic the Keeper, often depicted as an austere emperor wearing a little grey tax. I didn't notice the grey tax, but he's the keeper. So we're dealing with the Builder, the Warden, the Keeper, and the Scholar, I believe. At least that's what I believe from first encounters. I think that we would encounter the 12. Right, let us deliberate a course of action. Derek, know you aught of these beings' sanctums? Aye. They are domains in the Phantom Realm that lie beyond each gate. I've explored them all. What? Perhaps due to etheric instability, there are times when one can enter when ordinarily one cannot. But it would seem that the way has been opened for us. While I encountered no gods during my previous forays, I saw enough to know my way around. I am but a humble explorer, and cannot contend with gods, but if you would be willing to protect me, I will serve as your guide. Assemble your comrades, Bergerot bade us. As strong as I know you are, we know little unless about our foes, neither their strength nor their true nature. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to face them by ourselves. Nay, we must choose an approach that affords us the best chance at victory. To that end, this time I shall work behind the scenes, while you set forth to answer the gods' challenge. I will do what I can in my capacity as a student. For one, it would behoove us to arm ourselves with knowledge about the 12, and I shall begin by appraising Kryl of the situation. By thus utilizing our resources to the fullest, we shall overcome whatever trials await. If you are ready to set forth, then so am I. I'd now to continue with main scenario plot. If we're to enter the Numenom's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, then we must secure the permission of the Forum. First, however, we need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind? What of Scholar Montague? He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. 'Tis settled. Let us head to the phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. If I was pressed to name our allies in the Forum, Scholar Montague would certainly be at the top of the list. Hopefully he agrees to aid us with our request. I apprenticed to Master Matoya at the age of 7 and laboured under her tutelage for a full decade. I never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him in off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. His was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I sometimes wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. Tea at the last stand after a day of lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends since spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from the bright airy halls of academia as one could get, but it was a wondrous magical childhood nonetheless. Should I wander as well? Oh, never mind me. 'Twas just an idle thought. I prefer that one. Here we go. Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenum's restricted archives. Oh, no future forays into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety, yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, What compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House Damer has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void? That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future, and yet I want to understand everything, to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worth the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was promised reward? Ha ha ha! Marvellous! An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. And after hearing the whys and wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your requests for the forum's consideration. Although your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Why, Master Fortunel, of course. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Fortunate on our side would tip the balance in our favour. Very well. We will pay a visit to the Levier estate and plead our case. One last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favour if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as unstable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity... Of course, Scholaric. We will be sure to pass on any revelations. Montaigne seemed optimistic, but I doubt convincing Fortunate to champion our cause would be simply showing up on his doorstep. The forum can be a cankerous beast. One needs a persuasive voice to get it moving in the desired direction. Mistress Elita, Mistress Gistola, how may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Fortunato. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Well, well. Annalise would invite you inside for some tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss? Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Montague expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you, will not attempt to circumvent the forms of authority again, unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted eye curves are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequence of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister. She was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years on research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Do not celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convinced. And I will add your requests to the list of today's deliberations, and deliver the decision to you at the Baldessian Annex. The matter is out of our hands. All that remains is to return to the Annex and await word of the forum's decision. Please do come again. We are always glad to receive such close companions of the twins. So, what did the forum decide?
To put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here in Charlene, and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return.
That is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf.
Yes, well, as I am sure you're aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavour, and I bid you good day.
Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising? Aye, but that very stoicism is what Charlene needed to guide it through not one, but 2 exoduses.
If I were but 5 years younger, I'd cast aside my lectern and join you on your adventures in a heartbeat.
That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be on finding House Damir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. I'd like to set out as soon as you're ready. Montaghini is waiting to offer you further instructions.
You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume?
You presume correctly.
Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's to grant you access to the restricted section.
Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help.
Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek.
Shall we? Come along, Elita. Numenom and its forbidden knowledge wisdom awaits. Come on, you still keep up. Hey, pudding there. I guess my pudding wasn't neat till the final days after all, but I persevere. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they are just before the apocalypse started. I just know it. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist but yams away from where you found me napping. If I had known of Azadel III's exploits sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one needs to be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned. but clearly not taken to heart. Archon Yestola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed on into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. So many books! What weird shaped
If House
bookshelves.
Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
So many books I've yet to read. Yes, we're here for one specific volume. You needn't remind me. No smoking, no throwing books, and no yelling out Eureka in an obnoxiously loud voice. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. Untitled Goldsmith. Could that be... All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Is that talking about... Julian? Is that Godbert Manderville? Untitled Goldsmith? I mean, it would explain why his wife is so fierce. Primal Disquisitions. In the year 1564 of the 6th Astral Era, the Amazigh summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic, lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. Then what might emerge from the ether should one believe an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence could such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how could one be certain they were true? Though your mind spins with the possibilities discussed therein, this does not seem to be the volume you're seeking.
Looks like there is. But one more to check. The following pages detail Epiphanies of House Daemir. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures devised by Nuanism, the ninth patriarch of House Daemir. We present these research notes to the faculty of Charlane's Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek. You still will need to make the final confirmation. A forbidden research log detailing an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures devised by Nualstan, ninth patriarch of House Daemir. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Well done, Elita. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Daemir's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves? Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
Congratulations on locating the object of your search. Please move along. As much as I would love to start crafting the Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hanish alchemist who'd be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded. For the moment, please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled, security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidana can. I say we return to Thavnir and look for her at the Great Work. All these sallow, sleep-deprived faces, but their eyes still burn with fiery zeal. Some things will never change. Ishtola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. I have no doubt you will be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters! This is the mark of House Daymare. I never knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in Numenum's restricted archives after all. It was? But that means every word within is a forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. To think that the Daymare were developing such marvelous technologies so long ago. How the innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder. Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atmos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Daymare project that had been even the redoubtable scholars of Charlayan, trembling at their sandals, no alchemist of the great work would ever resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed simulacrum once we built it? So, there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atmos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. Charlayan markets provide the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid you need to go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favoured the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there is now known to live in the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vitra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. There's no greater joy than having a new puzzle to ponder. there is no greater joy than having a new puzzle to ponder. Draconia Stula requested that I join you, but of her plan she offered scant detail. Oh, I forget to mention, the Font of Maya attracts aggressive wildlife, and you should watch out for them when, you go there next time. My apologies. The boy Murad was glad to see the news of the Foundation. It means a new life for him and his sister. Do you have that flask for me? A flask filled with astral-infused water scooped from a strange specific point in the depths of the Font of Maya. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Elita. Istula is eager to depart for the vault.
Look who I came across. Estinian seemed in need of diversion, and we in turn may have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Mitsuyo's boat again? Not this time. Once Shistula informed me of her destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akiali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? "'Tis likely not needed with Varshan along, but I held onto the map against the chance we might return to the ruins." "Onto the boat, if you please. We can chat on the way there." "And all this time I thought the tales of Elfdel's hoard were more than the drunken sailor's fancies." "You need not keep your weapons close at hand. The Guardians will not attack if I am present, so I pray you leave them be." "The ship is yours to command." "Our thanks. We set sail at once." "Oh, this is so exciting. Asdal's legacy, to see the truth of a legend within my own eyes." "All aboard for the treasure vault." "I thought we cleared this place of constructs last time we came through. It would seem a few stragglers remained." "Poor Vitra. He really should have spoken with Estinian before we left. I shudder to think what we've cost them in terms of construct materials." "He laid waste to them ere I could utter a single word.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Grant has theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the Void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts?
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Might as well go myself.
And how would you do that? The gate is still too small for any of us to pass through.
Shrink me down.
Estinian is correct, which is why I've elected to send a familiar in our stead. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
A proxy?
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
Just a little proxy, I think.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, water, froth and foam!
Or is it one of those frog things, maybe?
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Ah, those!
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
It was adorable! I want to just give you a hug!
In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Froth and foam!
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
Don't tease me like that!
Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
Oh my god. Sisters, save me. I will never see your story the same way again. Froth and foam indeed. I struggle to picture Y'shtola as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. We need to wait for a time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and keep watch for any intruders. Every time I come here, it reminds me of that dark portal above the Crystal Tower, and the final lash of Azja's tail as she plunged into the void.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side! Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time! I must reseal the Void Gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void!
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct, then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Aurosite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unakalhai's spirit from his final battlefield. But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion.
Ardbert's companion, the elven swordswoman.
Silva, the adventurer who traveled with the Warriors of Light. And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns? I see. So Ciela, or rather Silva, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Unakalhai. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Seeing the void's terrors firsthand was an experience, but I doubt fear of such creatures is the root of Vita's hesitation. Yustila ponders the next stage of your preparations to enter the void. Once Nadanik succeeds in replicating the mock Atmos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavour than yours. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Ahem. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the Warden's scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the Void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Who do we know that excels at this kind of structural augmentation? Garland Ironworks? An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the Void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Valgar's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Perhaps this young man can locate Sid for us. Elita, what brings you to the ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid, certainly. I'll see if he has a moment free. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon and that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation. It seems some manner of corrosion is setting in around a scratch on its surface, much as its void corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying the compound, any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armour. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilising metal alloys with high etherical conductivity, so as to not impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armour, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with a design just to make sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. Ha! The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let us return to the great work, and see how Nindana is getting on with the mock Ethnos. hope Nadana has good news for us. The insatiable curiosity of our alchemists has ever amazed me, though I've largely left them to their own devices since we opened the gate together.
Ah, hey Stola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Celestinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
To protect them well, you must take heart.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Convincing others to follow their hearts is not my forte, but I would have gladly let our more philosophical comrades take a lead, had they been here. I will not squander this chance you have given me. I will find Asjara. What? Someone needs to give that boy a good talking to. I don't suppose I'll be reprimanded, do you? I did just yell at the satrap. We'll have that Atmos built before you know it. When a project like this comes along, we'll give it our full and undivided attention. Sleep? Pah, who needs it? Oh, that reminds me. I really should finish that other project I was working on for His Excellency. Good to see you safe. If you have any questions, and I'll gladly answer. More and more I see my colleagues shifting their efforts back to pet projects. I hope that everyone in Thavnir is enjoying the long-awaited return to normalcy.
You surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Vitra reach this conclusion. It was for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travellers believing the place was racked by some unnatural storm. What of your own answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Ratskor's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Vitra that pain, then I will follow you. Any other former scions we should call on? I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. We four should be sufficient for our purpose. Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where a flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawn to safety after each brief foray. To be more convenient, had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduta. Conducting our expedition out of the Rising Sun should raise just as many questions as recruiting too many scions. At least here in Razatsan, we might be expected to appear road weary from our local explorations. I was put up in a guest room in the palace while I awaited my audience with Vitra. I expect we'll be given the use of something similar. Please, may you aid the satrap in his endeavour, even as he aids you in yours. And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Asjala. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nadana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture to the 13th, now is your time. Now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Elita, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveller, an adventurer at heart, this I know. Meanwhile, in the 13th... that be? Oh no.
And thus I am returned. To this world, bereft of saviors.
What the heck happened to you, Xenos? Our journey into the void promises to be neither short nor simple, yet I will persevere. I have kept my sister waiting for far, far too long. Right. That's me reached the end of the story, so I'm going to stop there for now. Love you all, my precious darlings. Bye for now.